The House That Police Refused to Enter Part 2. The demolition crew thought it would be routine. A backhoe, a few hours of work, and the house on Ashwood Lane would be nothing but dust. But almost immediately, they hit trouble. The machines broke down one after another, as if the house itself resisted destruction. When the walls finally came down, what they uncovered beneath the basement floor would reopen the investigation and prove that the Carters' nightmare was far deeper than anyone imagined. Beneath the concrete slab, investigators found a hidden crawlspace sealed with bricks and tar. Inside were crates filled with journals, medical records, and videotapes. Decades of material documenting Mrs. Carter's descent into obsession. Her journals revealed she believed Lily was chosen, that her daughter carried some special purity that had to be preserved at any cost. She wrote of voices in the walls, of warnings that neighbors wanted to corrupt the girl. Every page was a window into paranoia. The tapes were worse. Hours of grainy recordings showed Lily confined in different cages, sometimes pleading softly, sometimes simply staring blankly at the lens. The basement hadn't been a sudden construction of madness. It had been a ritual refined over years. One journal entry shocked investigators most. Mrs. Carter described continuing the work he started. For months, detectives puzzled over who he referred to until they traced her past. Before moving to Willow Creek, Mrs. Carter had been married to a man named Thomas. He died in a suspicious fire 2 towns over. That case, never solved, involved allegations of child neglect and reports of locked rooms inside his home. For the first time, authorities realized Mrs. Carter may not have acted alone at first. She had inherited not just her husband's house but his twisted philosophy, that children could be kept pure by isolation and control. Throughout the investigation, Lily remained at a children's hospital, slowly regaining strength. For weeks she barely spoke. Then one afternoon, a nurse reported hearing her whisper a single sentence. "She's not gone." At first, staff dismissed it as fear, a trauma response. But when detectives showed Lily photographs of the hidden crawlspace, she pointed at the journals and said, "That's where she told me Daddy still is." The words chilled investigators. Thomas Carter was dead. His remains had been found, or had they? Further analysis of the crawlspace tapes revealed timestamps that continued well after Thomas's supposed death. One frame even captured his reflection, alive, standing behind the camera years after the fire. The truth was undeniable. Mrs. Carter's first husband had faked his death. Together, they had crafted the prison beneath Ashwood Lane. But somewhere along the way, he vanished for real. When confronted with the evidence in court, Mrs. Carter broke her calm facade. For the first time, she screamed at the jury, yelling that Thomas never left and that he told me what to do. It was the unraveling prosecutors had waited for. Mrs. Carter was sentenced to life without parole. But the judge went further, ordering that the house's remains be removed brick by brick, the soil treated, the land left empty. "No structure will stand here again," he declared. "This ground belongs to the victims now." Lily, against all odds, survived. In the years that followed, she was placed with relatives far from Willow Creek. She would never return to Ashwood Lane, though counselors say she slowly began to rebuild a life with some sense of normalcy. For neighbors who had watched police freeze at the open door, there was finally an answer. They hadn't hesitated out of cowardice. Their instincts had been right. Something truly unholy had been inside that house, something that was not just criminal but unnatural. Even seasoned officers admitted that the stench, the noises, the movement in the shadows, they all made sense now. They hadn't just been stepping into a crime scene. They had been stepping into a legacy of control, cruelty, and madness passed from one generation to the next. And in the greatest irony of all, the Carters' obsession with purity destroyed everything. The family that sealed itself away to remain untouched became infamous for the most corrupt horror imaginable. Justice was served. The house was gone. The cul-de-sac was quiet once more. But those who were there will never forget the night the police refused to enter, because they were right all along. Some doors should never be opened. Click the like button, comment below, follow, and thank you for watching.